Welcome back to AMD Garage. And here we are again talking about 81 to 87 Squarebody Chevy, Squarebody GMC air deflector. It comes up all the time. When we talk about trucks, we talk about parts. How do you get the air deflector to fit right? They don't fit well. They don't do this, they don't do that. They're made well and they're sturdy, but they don't fit well. Well, we're going to talk to you a little bit about that today, and I'm going to show you. We're about to replace one on the K5. Now, let's face it, we're all driving lowered trucks. We're beating these things up. It's right under the bumper. We're dragging them. It is what it is. But the fitment is okay if you take the proper steps to fit them up. And I'm going to let you in on a secret, okay? AMD does not produce that part. They sell it. I said it. It's what it is. They've looked at developing this and bringing that to market. To do it to AMD standard, you're looking at $159, $169 to make one the standard the way they would make it. It's not cost effective to do that. It's one of the ways that AMD keeps what you're spending on truck parts at hand and kind of takes an interest in, look, why do we want to do that when we can fit these up? We can take that investment dollar, put it somewhere else, and bring another product that we don't have to market. So stay with us today. We're going to show you how to make it work. So how many times you're out in your truck, you're running around, maybe you drive this thing to lunch, you pop in down to the doghouse to get a hot dog, you pull up to the parking stop, next thing you know, you got this going on. Like I said, we're trashing these things. We got to put a new one on. It's a real simple, quick, and easy thing. It's 6/8 bolts. The hole alignment's the only thing we got to mess with. We're going to show you how to do that. Watch this. So step one, like everything we do, you know, we got to get the old one off. It's a good idea to spray these down with some penetrating oil, because if they've been on there for years, they're going to be stuck. You got all of these J-clips, all these bolts holding this thing. Spin those off. And I usually leave the ones on the ends for last so you don't have to fight holding this thing the whole time. That's all there is to it. That's off the truck. And if you're going to take the time to do this while you're on the AMD website, they've got the hardware for everything you're going to need. These little U-clip, J-clips, whatever you want to call them, they rust, they get slow and lazy, and you got to fight with them. The bolts are trashed. Go ahead and spring for all the new hardware. It just makes this whole job a whole lot easier. Like I said, AMD doesn't produce this part, but it's still a well-made part. Good coating on all the bracketry. The bolts and stuff is here. They're usually just right there ready to loosen, take out, and go to work. You're going to want to get those in the bumper first, out on the ends. That's going to set the stage for this whole deal. So just get somebody to help you hold it, put the thing up to the truck, check and see how your hole spacing is across there before you really try to start anything. And you're going to find that there'll be two holes across through there. There's always two holes that line up. And you want to get bolts in the two that line up and get it hanging. And another thing about using the new hardware when you're fitting this thing is you're going to have it up and down a few times. You can spin these bolts in and out a whole lot quicker and a lot faster. It don't seem like much of a deal. It's a small thing, but it makes time go a lot faster and a lot simpler when you're taking this thing on and off, because you may have it on and off 3 or 4 times. When you find out which hole is what, where you're going to start with, if you have to slot it just a little, take a Dremel with a carbide in it or an air tool, and just slot the hole just a little bit. It's just plastic. It won't take very long to do, and it makes the whole job go a whole lot quicker. And a lot of times on these center 2 bolts, you can see that plastic's a whole lot thicker right there, how it's made. If you have to completely drill a new hole, then drill a new hole. It happens sometimes. I think all these bumpers, these trucks are a little different. If you have to do something a little different with the hole, take a 3/8, drill a hole. And that's really all there is to it. A little bit of slotting, a little bit of working with some holes, a little bit of patience goes a long way, but I can have a whole lot of patience for $100 difference in that air dam. Make it fit the way you want it to fit, and it's going to be fine. And here again, chances are, if you tore it up the first time, you're going to tear it up again. It's lowered. It's kind of a sacrificial piece on these trucks. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of AMD Garage. I'm Bryan, Garage and Custom. We'll see you on down the road.